year, we have all found it necessary to call this meeting to go over Simon's progress and goals for Term 2. I would like to start this meeting by doing some quick introductions. My name is Kristen Carson, and I'm Simon's General Education Classroom Teacher.
Hello, my name is Sarah Gita, and I'm a special education teacher, and I currently work with Simon in his classroom 3 times a week for 30 minutes each session.
Hi, I'm Simon's mom, Torin, and I'm happy to be here to discuss Simon's goals and progress.
I'm Kira Burnett, I'm a school psychologist, and I've had the pleasure of getting to know Simon over the past term.
I'm Simon.
Okay, so as you guys know, we're here today to talk about Simon and his goals for the next term. And I would also really like to look at Simon's progress so far.
Before we focus on the goals for next term, I want to make sure that we're all aware of Simon's long-term goals. We've talked about it a few times. Simon, do you want to share where you see yourself going after high school?
Well, I really want to be a firefighter when I grow up, because I'd be just like my dad, and I really miss him.
Simon, I think that is such a great goal to have, and I know that we can work together to really make that happen.
Yes, that's great. I've really seen you help all your classmates when they need assistance, and I think you would make an excellent firefighter.
I've talked with Simon about trade schools before, which he's interested in possibly attending after high school. Since it's just me and him now, we'd like to stay close if that's possible and support each other in the future.
Yeah, and so Simon, are there any areas of school that you feel you're having a hard time with right now?
I really don't like reading in front of the class. I always mess up my words, and then I have a really hard time keeping track of what my homework is.
Yes, that's something that I've noticed. How about you and I can develop a better system to make sure you're not losing your work?
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us, Simon. Why don't you go ahead and join the rest of the class at music now?
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, actually,
Okay, so last May, Simon was identified as having a learning disability, as we all know. So if we're just looking at the progress from the first term, he's having this extra assistance in the classroom, but I can tell that Simon's still struggling with reading, writing, some math skills, and a lot of organizational skills. But along with processing speed as well.
So is he doing anything right in the classroom?
One thing that I've noticed that Simon really excels at is his ability to learn visually. And he has a lot of general knowledge in content subjects, which allows him to interact and develop positive relationships with his peers. I've been making a lot of accommodations in the classroom for Simon. He seems to really work well when I model procedural information, especially when it comes to math and science. I also allow Simon to highlight information in a passage of text so he can easily follow along and process what is being read. Lastly, Simon follows along well when things are read to him. He tracks well and can comprehend auditory inputs.
I also want to add that on Simon's last writing assessment from the first of the month, he met grade level in all 4 writing standards. I saw the same thing with his reading test in the fall. His oral reading and comprehension skills are high. He's just struggling with fluency. It seems to me that the assessment accommodations we decided on in the fall.
Wait, what is an assessment accommodation?
Accommodations are changes to how we teach or assess students. So they get all the same content, but without the barriers. For the writing assessment, he was able to use text-to-speech softwares and spell checkers. This helps Simon convey his message without having to worry about conventions.
And also, some additional accommodations that I've noticed Kristen has made in the classroom have also really helped with Simon's progress. So he gets extra time to complete his assignments during class, and that has definitely helped lower his anxiety by so much. That extra time just really helps him. And then by allowing him to use manipulatives, especially like during math and stuff, it really just helps break down those tasks so he can see it visually.
Well, I've noticed that Simon is starting to become a little bit less frustrated while he's completing his math homework at home. I think since he's allowed to use manipulatives to support his math concept learning, he's become much more motivated to succeed. He has started getting more answers right, and now he can use a calculator while he's doing homework, which he really likes. I've seen him act a lot more anxious and seem a little bit more, to enjoy his math. What other areas can we work on at home?
Well, I think the academic accommodations are working well for him. But one area we still need to address is his organization. In Term 1, I supported Simon by keeping track of assignments and due dates on a calendar. This term 2, do you think it would be reasonable to have him continue this independently and be self-assessing and monitoring his work?
Well, would it help if I got him a planner and have him write down assignments and we can kind of both keep track of what he needs to do? I can tell how disorganized he is, but he's so smart. Like, I know he can succeed.
Absolutely, and you know what, I think a planner would be such a great way for Simon to keep track of what he needs to get done. And it also, when everything's written out like that, it provides him with such a great visual. Last term, we asked Simon to identify just 2 qualities of an organized person, and he decided that an organized person is someone who plans ahead and puts things where they belong.
When Simon and I talked last fall, so he told me he was doing well with both of those characteristics. He and I discussed identifying a 3rd characteristic for this term as a new goal. We think it'd be attainable for him to both identify and implement. And he's been working with his friend Brett as kind of like a model to help him stay organized and embrace these characteristics. I think it'd be great to continue using Brett in that way.
One thing that I really want him to work on is his ability to prioritize. I've noticed that he spends a lot of time on less important assignments and tends to not complete the bigger or more important assignments.
Well, at home, Simon has a chore chart that we use, or that I use, to help him track which chore he needs to do. He gets like a small reward for completing each task in the chore, like a sticker, like a piece of gum or candy. Would it be possible to do a sort of chart like this in the classroom? I've noticed that he works much better if there's some sort of reward system in place.
That is such a great strategy, and I think that we should definitely try it out.
So everything's going okay now, but what are we going to do when he gets to middle school? I know it's a lot different.
Well, I'm definitely here to help make that transition as smooth as possible, so I will be working with this middle school SPED teacher, and here are some things that I would like to focus on with Simon moving forward. So definitely keep on track with his organization, so still use that planner, and then self-regulation, so that at-home system really make sure it's kicking in. And then as for all the accommodations we've made so far with Simon, I will definitely work with the middle school SPED teacher to make sure that they continue so he doesn't lose those routines.
Yeah, we've set term 2 goals for Simon that involve self-regulation and progress monitoring. I will make sure that this term I emphasize how critical these skills will be in middle school as well. We can work towards Simon doing this independently.
And talking to the special education program at the middle school is a great idea, and I think we should work with them to create goals for Simon for self-regulation, like Kristen mentioned. One piece that we're still missing, though, is the peer mentor. We're seeing Simon build a strong connection with Brett, and having this mentor seems to be really helping him with his organization. So we need to make sure we communicate that to the middle school as well.
So we've reviewed everything listed on Simon's IEP Torrent. Are there any concerns that you want to address with us?
I think that you guys have a really good handle on what's best for Simon. You work with him every day. Thank you for all the hard work that you've put into this IEP plan. I really appreciate it.
And you know what? It is our pleasure to be able to provide the best for Simon, and we are always here to answer any questions you may have. So let us know if anything changes with Simon's behavior at home, or just if you have any concerns in general. We're here.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.